All right, my last video cut off a little short, so sorry about that. To finish the last page of the Drip Irrigation Data Sheet, just to go over where we ended. What we have is a hoop house. We have an existing well with existing 2-inch PVC pipe going to a hose bib. From that hose bib, we're going to be running 1.25-inch pipe. In this case, it's polyethylene 3408 100 psi pipe. So that'll be the main line coming off the hose bib. And then from there, we have all our laterals. So we're just going to go through the hydraulic calculations for this last page. So our main line length is 50 feet. We're using the kind of pipe PE 3508 1.25 inch 100 psi pipe. The design capacity for the pipe is going to come from the first page, or from, sheet 3. We designed, we need 7.2 GPM. So we're going to put that here. We have 50 feet of main line. Now if you figure out the losses through 1.25-inch pipe, it's going to come out to be 0.49 feet. All you got to do that is figure out, just look online, find PE 3508 1.25-inch pipe, look for the friction per 100 feet, and you'll enter that here. So the total that we got is, we're not even going 100 feet, we're just going 50 feet. So we're losing 0.49 feet total. And then if you convert that to PSI, divide this by 2.31, and you'll get 0.21 PSI. The emitter pressure at the first emitter, in this case they're using emitters that need a minimum of 8 PSI to operate. You multiply 8 times 2.31, you'll get 18.48. And then we'll have miscellaneous losses. So just in this case, we're just doing a hoop house standard design, so you'll have miscellaneous losses due to the connections, flow meter, and miscellaneous appurtenances. So if you just put 1 PSI in here, that's a lot of PSI in the grand scheme of things. So it's kind of just an overestimate. I guess you can call it a factor of safety. When you multiply that by 2.31, you get 2.31. There's no elevation difference. Once again, you got a hose bib going to a hoop house, and from here to the end of the pipeline, there's no elevation difference, so we put 0. Pump discharge pressure, in my mind this is a little bit redundant because you have this here and then you have it here again, but anyways, when you add 0.21, 8, and 1, you get 9.21. Pumping lift, you don't have to lift anything. So the pump discharge pressure, going back to that only means that if you have a pump, in this case you have a hose bib and you're turning it on, but if you have a pump, how much pressure would the pump have to overcome? In this case, 9.21 or 21.28 feet. And finally, pumping lift 0. Total head is just going to be everything added together. So there's no pump requirements. That's why they have NA existing well. In the case you did have a pump, then you would have to put your GPM here. Let's just go through it. 7.2 GPM. The corresponding pressure you have to overcome, 9.21. And the feet that correlates to that PSI is 21.28. And so if you were using a pump, let's just size the pump. HP equals TDH times 3960 times efficiency times GPM. So if you put those values in there, the total dynamic head in this case is going to be 21.28. So we'll just do it on our calculator, 21.28. I'll write it down. 21.28 times the GPM of 7.2 divided by 3960 times 0.75. So we're going to pretend we're using an electric submersible pump times 7.2. Just get you that divided by 3960 times 0.75. You get a pump HP of 0.05. They don't have 0.05 pump, so you're just going to round it to a 0.5 horsepower pump. Once again, I'm just running through this because on this example, we're coming off a simple hose bib. The hose bib is the equivalent of the quote-unquote pump. We're just turning on that hose bib and letting it go full bore. There is going to be a pressure reducer here so that it doesn't explode. And so this is our pump. That's our existing hose bib. That's our pump. That's why I'm going through these calculations to show you that if you were sizing an actual electric submersible pump, this is how you would do it. So finally, you get the depth of cover. Everything's going to be, in this case, the only thing that's going to be covered would be the main line. Sometimes the main line isn't even covered. Everything's above ground, so they didn't even put anything here because it's all above ground. And finally, pressure reducer. As far as appurtenances, you're going to have a pressure reducer at the hose bib, because the hose bib, typically off of a residential hose bib, you're going to have about 70 psi of pressure, so you have to reduce that to 10 or whatever your emitter pressure's maximum capacity is. And then finally, after you're done with all the calculations, you're just going to have your cooperator sign here, put your design by, have someone approve it, and then make sure someone checks it and date it. So that's the rest of that data sheet for drip irrigation. If you have any questions regarding how to fill it out, let me know. Thanks.